Hello once again, and I'm going to do another replay here between two pretty good players. In this corner, we have the Red Zerg EG, Idra, you might know him, very popular American player. And up in the top position, we have VP Street. I haven't seen Street play very often, but of course he is the Blue Terran, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. Now, one thing to note about Idra is that he does love to play a rather large macro game, tending to build his fast hatcheries, get that quick economy out there, and then move on to a large army and long, kind of drawn-out battles. So it would behoove VP Street, and that's right, I did say behoove, if he would actually be a little bit more aggressive in the early game to kind of push Idra's buttons and get him to make some mistakes, because he has shown that weakness in his early game variability and how adaptive he can be. Now, the typical openings for Terran aren't being pushed at all here. He's naturally building the supply depot. I remember back in the day, you actually could build barracks whenever you want, but now they have patched that a while back for supply depots first. Now, Idra is going to send this Overlord out to try and scout this base over here, but he's not going to find anything, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. At some point, he may decide, alright, he does seem to be doing that macro, or that quick natural expansion at around 14 supply, 16 supply, something around those lines. First barracks coming down for Street as well. Now, so Idra has scouted this bottom position and notice that there is no base there. However, it's going to be very quick for our team VP Street to go ahead and find out where that base is, especially when he sees a drone leaving. The spawning pool has now gone down, so there will be some Zerglings out, but not in enough time to do any serious harassment and rush in the early game. Now, Street is going to go ahead and wall off, so this drone will not be able to get in, and the Marine comes out at a crucial time to deal with that. There is very little scouting going on in this base. Idra would require a Overlord to somehow scout the going-ons, but the Marines will be able to handle that very well. Now, this SCV is just going to continue to poke around. Idra most likely sees it based on his skill with that Overlord. Now, this hatchery is almost complete, and you will begin to see some workers head down in that direction. Now, there is one extractor that has gone down for Idra, so he may be going along the lines of some quick Zergling speed. Unfortunately, he would be going for that if it were that important to him. He might be going for late game Roaches. Now, he is working on 2 queens from both of these hatcheries. That will definitely help boost his economy. Now, a little bit of aggression here, as I expected. You do have the 3 Marines going down towards the base of Idra, and a factory going down, so you may see some quick Hellions based on this early refinery. Of course, now the Zerglings are going to attack the Marines, and the Zerglings are going to go down very fast. The Marines are going to push forward and possibly do some harassment on this Overlord. He may, in fact, lose it. However, this Queen will go over to assist, and that will be enough to push these Marines at least away from the Overlord to prevent him from being supply blocked right away. He is going to morph in 4 more Zergling pairs, so technically that's 8 Zerglings. But not at the same time, however, they did not get synced up, and that Overlord did go down. Meanwhile, an Overlord is slowly moving its way up to the top position to see what exactly he is going for. Now, at this point, Idra does decide to go for the Zergling speed, and has not built a Roach Warren at all yet, so it is going to be a little bit later than most would like. 3 Marines are going back to the base, however, this factory is done, and it is going for a tech lab, and he is getting the pre-igniters for those blue flame Hellions, very effective, and an expansion coming down, a quick command center being built by Street so that he can meet that early Zerg economy of Idra. Now, the economy is going to continue to be boosted by Idra. He does love to macro up a whole lot, so you may see a lot of Zerglings to try and combat that. However, if he notices the Hellions, it may be time to move to something along the lines of a quick lair to get Mutalisks out. The Zerglings are moving out. They do not have Zergling speed, however, by the time they are ready to be very aggressive, that will be in place. However, these Marines are in a great position to defend. They do have the high ground. I'd like to see some hold position, but yes, the Zerglings are going to move in, but they are decimated by these high Marine forces. This command center is going to turn into an orbital command before it is sent over, and a refinery and barracks are being built to allow the extra gas for those Hellions. They have been made, but they are not going to be used just yet. This Overlord is going to poke around, and a Marine is set on patrol there to see that Overlord, if it comes out, anything dropped in this shaded area here as well. The two Zerglings are going to continue to be down here by the southern part of the base, so that he can continue to get some kind of scouting to see if any push is coming. Now, this push is coming, so you're going to see him warp in a whole lot more army. He is going for an Evo Chamber and a Banging Nest, as well as it appears to be yep, he is going to upgrade to Lair to get those flying units, especially seeing as how he saw the Hellions. But the Hellions are here. He does have a Spine Crawler for some defense, but he is going to warp out. Oh, wow, that is a lot of Zerglings. He's going to get over 16 Zerglings, but that's 2 pairs of them. Well, that is, I believe they had the right number there anyways. With these Zerglings, and he's going to get 4 to turn into Banelings. That'll be very interesting to see how they are applied. Now, these Hellions are going to go in the back and do some harassment, but the Queens are going to move over as well. The Zerglings are going to trap some of these Hellions, but those blue flames will tear through them like they weren't even there. The Banelings destroying the Marines. Now, these Queens can hold off these Hellions and these Marines very easily. Oh, but one Queen does go down. The drones are being moved away by Idra, and now the Hellions are going to move in. However, this Queen may take one down, but no, he actually does not. More drones are going to be sacrificed to try and crush these, and that is actually a good use with that micro for those drones to allow that Queen to finish off those Hellions. Meanwhile, Street does have his expansion on the way and a bunker there as well. He has moved on to siege tanks to get a little bit of defense for his army, and he will continue to do that mech build as he adds on another barracks with a tech lab. So he will be going for some form of, I believe Marauders would be the typical way to go for this. However, with a massive army of Zerglings, that would not be the most effective. Now, Idra is going to send one Zergling in ahead to kind of poke ahead, see that that bunker, and realize that that would not be profitable to send his units in. Idra is going to go for a 3rd expansion to get the 3 bases so that he can officially get enough minerals to be effective with his Mutalisks. He does have the Evo Chamber and is actually getting the melee attacks level 1 upgrade, so it will be interesting to see what he does there. VP Street is going to go ahead and get some of those missile turrets. I don't know if he has scanned to see whether or not that is there. Does he know that there's a spire anywhere in this base? I do believe he sees the beginning of the spire, hence him building those. Now, the siege tanks will be effective, but not enough with just this many Marines. The Mutalisks will be able to quickly take them down and then move on to the siege tanks. Now, this 3rd base is almost finished for Idra, and it will be interesting to see the next step. A 2nd factory has gone down with another tech lab and an armory, so you will see a transition into Thors. Meanwhile, siege tanks are good to go, and a scan does go down on this army to see some of these units, but these Zerglings are able to just sweep up with the mutas up in the air, being able to destroy those siege tanks with ease, especially with the Zerglings at close range. Idra is at a huge advantage here. Based on the units lost, you can see that Street is in danger.